Anyway, let's talk about rugby.
Right, so what's going to happen then this weekend?
Well, you tell me, you're the expert now.
I am the expert.
Mr. Predictor.
Australia will beat New Zealand.
Australia will beat New Zealand. They've lost Mortlock though. Lost Mortlock, and they've lost, well obviously New Zealand have lost Richie McCaw, so that's a big blow, so I think that cancels 1 for 1. So I think probably in this situation, I think because we haven't had Richie McCaw for the last 2 games, so I don't think it's going to be a major impact. I think losing Mortlock is more of an impact for Australia. Well, it's a standard 3 weeks. Well, that's the normal 3 weeks. So he could be back at the tail end of the Tri-Nations. So it's a bit of a blow because this is going to be this is like our big tournament. Tri-Nations is important, but having it against Australia, the Bledisloe Cup, that's vital. And you've got to make sure that you get the first win. This is absolutely crucial. So there's going to be a few sore bodies, sore heads, and the rest of it. I think it's going to work. I think Robbie Deans is a successful. I think obviously is successful. But I think once the actual Australians put their arm around him and sort of say, yeah, look, we need to believe in him and do what's right. And I think that's probably a real difficult pill to swallow from Australia. You know, you do want Australian to swallow a pill, but you only want them to choke on it. Having a Kiwi to coach them is obviously a little bit of a concern. But what happens when you start winning, you get confidence, and you can just imagine there. What would be like the biggest insult for a Kiwi is to beat the Kiwi team with with a Kiwi coach who was pushed away from New Zealand. That's the biggest sort of slap in the face. It sort of says to the New Zealand Rugby Football Union and to the old the hierarchy just to go. Well, I think he's been stepping up to the plate recently. I just think in the last couple of games, you're sort of seeing him come back to his old. I think he's sort of fallen off the radar a little bit since 2005 to the Lions. And I think that's where he sort of launched himself onto the world stage internationally. But I think he was gifted anyway. But a couple of those performances in the Lions was fantastic. So, but I think he actually dropped off the radar in 26, 27. And this year, I think he's sort of come back a little bit back to where he is. But what actually needs to happen is that you actually can't have a guy that's just going to. One guy just can't carry the team. You need someone else to actually try and support him. You need the forwards to actually give them a platform. I've heard that the Australian scrum has actually been quite good, which is obviously a concern for me because that would wind the Kiwis up. So they must have changed their formula or the way they're actually doing things. Like Al Baxter. He doesn't even. I was going to say he looks tough, but he doesn't actually look tough. He's not tough. And technically, I think that is probably one of the areas that I think the All Blacks want to actually target. But we need to get the All Blacks need to get on the front foot, which will actually allow Daniel Carter, Conrad Smith, Ma'a Nonu guys to actually inject something into it.